Hello, everybody. My name is Carlos from Maputo, Mozambique. Welcome to Moz Monday Movies, a special edition. This is our kickoff of Moz Monday Movies special edition. This will be our last chapters of Moz Monday Movies in 2021, as we are looking ahead already to 2022 and preparing the new sessions and new editions and new seasons for the next year. So this session will be very special. We are doing something very different now to wrap up 2021. So we are doing 5 weeks in a row with foreign movies, uh, foreign short movies. So we will start in South Africa, and then we will go to different countries, both African countries and also Portuguese-speaking countries. So it's going to be a new experience here at Shortcutz, and we are really thrilled to share this with you all. And as you know, if this is your first time here on YouTube, either of Shortcutz Mozambique or Freestyle Talkz, please subscribe to our channel to be alert and be updated to the upcoming news. But we don't do this alone. It's not just Carlos. We have a big team at Shortcutz. So my partner for this session comes from all the way Germany. So I will invite Lisa to join me now. Lisa, hello.
Hello, good evening.
How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm very good. It's like a bit of a new situation because we are now speaking English, and in the past sessions where I was, it was always Portuguese. So yeah, just have to rethink a little bit and to use the English language, but I'm really
Yeah,
thrilled
it's
to
our
be here.
first session actually of Shortcutz in English. So it's also a new challenge for me as well. So let's do it. And this is a good team of working as a team. So
Yes.
having you is a support. And if you speak in Portuguese, I will give you a heads up. Hey,
Yeah.
English. And if I do it, you push me back to English as well. Okay.
Okay, fine.
So we have a very special guest. We had the chance of meeting him before we started our live, and he's a great guy. We were having a really interesting discussion, and I'm really honored to invite him. He's our first guest in this special edition of Moz Monday Movies, and I'm very close to him, Lisa, because
Ah,
it's Mozambique and South Africa, so we are neighbors. So let me introduce Kopedi Aphane. Hello, my friend. Welcome.
Hello. Good evening. Hi.
hi. Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let me put you in the middle as you are our guests. Here you are. Special place, VIP spot here. So let me start by thanking you first for making the time and accepting our challenge and our invitation. I know it was a surprise because we never met before, but from Freestyle Talkz, which is my YouTube channel, a partner of Shortcutz, I had a really nice meeting a couple of months ago about the situation of in South Africa, about the uprisings and the chaos in South Africa, the strikes and the tumults. So one of our guests was Cello, a coach Cello, right? So I asked him about any reference of a short movie director from South Africa, and he immediately sent me your contacts. He told me this is your guy.
Yeah.
So he's a great guy, and shout out to him as well. So I didn't even hesitated in following his advice, and I must tell you that I'm really honored and humbled for our first contact you were very open and very enthusiastic about being a part of this experience. And I really wanted to thank you on behalf of the entire Shortcutz Mozambique team for making your time and accepting to show your movie in our show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Lisa, maybe you can start. Let's talk a little bit first about our guest. We have a long movie today, so it will be shorter in the first discussion. But please, Lisa, floor is yours.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, normally we start just to get to know you a little bit and know about something about you as a person. What do you do in your life, maybe when you're not making movies, or just to tell us something about you to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. So I mean, I think during my the obvious question would be, what was my interest in film, right? So I think from a young age, as I was growing up, I always loved to watch TV. I always loved to watch movies, when kids are out playing and I'm in the house watching movies, there was just something about movies that just intrigued me, that interested me. But obviously, the opportunities were not very open, especially for Black people then. So you try and stay within the system and get a regular job, but my passion just came at me a few years later when I was a regular 9-to-5 guy, and I had to make a decision to say, am I going to now ignore my passion, or am I going to answer the call? So I made a decision. I resigned from my job. It was a nice job. I mean, I was the IT director for one of the accounting firms in South Africa, Ernst & Young. So I resigned from there, and I had to go back to school to study film. And I did that, and I started from the bottom, and it was very difficult to penetrate the industry, as you can imagine. Nobody knows you, nobody has heard of you, nobody trusts you if you can do the job. But I had to learn. I had to really humble myself, make connections, meet people, talk to people, go around and see what they're doing, get myself out there. And the minute I started, knowing a few people in the industry, then the wheels started turning. They started inviting me onto their sets. I started learning and seeing how this thing is done, and fast forward to today, I produced my first short film. But I started off with documentaries, because those are like much easier to make. There's no time frame. You just do it as you can or when you can. But documentaries were more of a stepping stone for me, because that's not what I really wanted to do. I wanted to make films. I wanted to make, a certain genre of storytelling. So documentaries were the closest thing to learn how to manage a production, how to organize a production, the steps. Then once I mastered the documentaries, I then transitioned into film, which was a little bit easier, because the very same steps that you use to produce a documentary, you follow the same steps in film, and yeah, I think that's just my story. But from a very young age, I've always been interested in storytelling. Just that my parents were not aware of where my talent or where my interest lies. They always wanted me to become a doctor or a lawyer or something, but that was not for me. That was not for me.
Yeah, but that's really impressive. So if you have a passion, you never know if you're really good at it. Only because you like something like really a lot, So
Yeah.
that you just took the step and you had like a really steady job and everything, that you took the step to say, okay, let's do something new, let's just try, and started from the beginning. I can understand that. I can imagine that this was maybe not an easy decision to make. So
No, not at all. I mean, can you imagine you have you are in a top position firm, and you had to let go and go into something that you're not even aware, or you're not even sure if it's going to work or not. You know, I really had to make a decision, and I made one, because at the end of the day, I thought to myself, if I leave this job and get another job, a few years down the line, passion comes calling again, it's going to be a circle. I'm going to be going around in circles. So I might as well just follow my passion and take a chance and take a leap of faith. And I'm glad that it paid out eventually, that I am now, in a position to make films. And yeah, that's what I love. Nothing pleases me more than watching films. Even my close friends know, whenever they come to my house, my TV is always on movie channels. That's all I ever watch. Yeah, because I like to learn what other people are doing. I want to know what other producers or directors are doing. That's the only way of learning, to watch other people's work, and then you can only grow from there, and learn from there.
No, absolutely. Let me also take a moment here to read some messages that we are receiving. So our viewers are free and are welcome to send us messages on YouTube. So chat with us, be a part of the discussion, please. So Lam was saying hi, Shortcutz, and then welcoming you. Thank you, Lam.
Okay.
And then we have Alex, who's one of our colleagues. Alex is actually on Netherlands. He's asking, how old were you when you did the career change?
I was 36 years old when I did the career change. So you can imagine. I already had kids by then. I had a mortgage, bond payment for the house. I had a lot going at that time. But all of that did not matter to me. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and which was make movies, and yeah, it was not a very easy decision to make, like Lisa said, but it was a decision that was necessary for me to make, to fulfill my happiness, to fulfill my purpose in life. This is all that I know, telling stories, making movies. Apart from that, I know nothing else. So I had to make it work. I really had to make it work. I had no other choice but to.
No, that's always a good incentive. And Liz, I was telling our guests previously that it's very interesting, because from the discussions we had with Mozambican short movie directors, most of them young people, they all have another job, a full-time job, and making movies is a passion. But they all say they would love to dedicate themselves full-time to making movies. But in Mozambique, it's really difficult because of lack of support, a whole structural situations. So I think it's very inspiring to hear your story and taking that step and really embracing your passion. So I think it's really a great and powerful message also to Mozambican movie directors, especially young people who are starting, to see that it is possible. It's not easy, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's never too late. So even if you went in a totally different direction, to change one day and just to say, no, that's not my way, I need another one, and my way is my passion. And yeah, I'm totally impressed.
Yeah. And just to add on, the beautiful thing about this industry is that you can be 80 years old and still work in it. You know, this is one industry that you can really live and die in it. You know, it's unlike other corporate industries where they tell you that, oh no, you are 65 years old, you have to go on pension or whatever. You can be old and frail and still work in this industry. So it accommodates everyone, and it does not care about age, actually.
True.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So we have a long movie. It's not very short movie. This time it's 35 minutes or so. So we should get started sooner. But before we go to our movie, I think it's only fair that we acknowledge our partners as well, who make these sessions possible, who support Shortcutz. So we always thank the Portuguese Institute in Mozambique, the German Center in Mozambique, Wonderland Movies, sponsored by the Ministry of Culture from Austria. And so these are the organizations that believe in what we do, that are supporting us. And this step of Moz Monday Movies Special Edition is also us opening ourselves to outside of Mozambique. So we are starting by our neighbor country, and we will go to other places. So stay tuned. It will be, I think, we have 5 Mondays. So this is our first Monday, and we have 4 other Mondays, the 4 next Mondays, to bring you new movies each week from different countries. So it will be definitely worth it. But we have, I think it's a very powerful movie, and it shows a lot of the reality. I think it's a real movie. It gives you a feeling of realness. It's not fake. It's not a fairy tale. It's a real live movie. So I'm really impressed, and I'm very curious to press play so that everybody can really enjoy this movie. We will return afterwards to discuss the movie, to ask questions, hear your point of view as a director. So let's do this. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Ready and curious.
So I'm going to press play, and we'll be back in 35 minutes or so. Please enjoy. Lisa, welcome back.
Thank you.
And our director. Wow. Congratulations. Great movie.
Thank you.
We have a lot to unpack there. So our viewers, if you want to be a part of the discussion, please send your messages on YouTube, either if you are watching on Shortcutz Mozambique or Freestyle Talkz. Feel free to chat with us. We are here to dissect this great movie. So, Lisa, please, if you want to go first, I can follow.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it was a really nice movie. I enjoyed it a lot. So you have like really a lot of different parts in the movie that I was like kind of a bit tense scenes, and also a bit fun, and more a bit of when she starts to sing that. Yeah, it was really, really impressive how many different aspects you got in such a short movie. And I'm always impressed how it is even possible to put a whole story in only like 35 minutes. So yeah, congratulations. I'm really impressed. And yeah, also with the time, you kind of sometimes change the time when you go back to tell this to tell the story. So it was like even it was, I think it's not maybe not that easy to make it just for the one who's watching to understand. So now it's going back and telling a bit of the story. So yeah, I'm really impressed how you did it.
Yeah, no, thank you. There's just a lot that we needed to cut down into, 35 minutes, and also the flashbacks.
Flashbacks.
Some people still don't understand, like, why are we going there and there, and I'm like, but I'm not trying to spoon feed the audience. I want them to stay intrigued as to what brings the goals here. Are the goals, are they criminals, or are we sympathetic towards their cause? I just wanted to play around with that a bit, and I just didn't want to, easily give it away. And at the end of the day, the audience has to make up their mind if they sympathize with the girls being, coming from an abusive relationship with their father, or you see them as just plain criminals stealing the money and trying to kill their father, because the intention was for them was not to kill their father, was just to steal the money and run away. But during the robbery, he walks in on them, and they make a split decision to say, we need to get rid of him. Well, they think they got rid of him, but no, they didn't. And the guy, he's only coming back to get his money. He's not there to get the goals. He just wants his money back. And they know that if he gets the money, he's not gonna let them go. So that's when a final decision is made to say he needs to go. So yeah. But it was quite difficult.
Story.
Yeah, it was quite difficult to pack everything, within 35 minutes and make it make sense, so to speak. Yeah, but it was quite difficult, very challenging, especially in post.
I can imagine.
We have a question here from Lam saying, "Great movie, congratulations, well done." So one thing from my side that I was really impressed is something you were kind of tapping around now, is the complexity, because it's not an easy story to say, okay, he's good, they are bad, he's a villain, she's a hero. So it's like real life. So life is complex. Life is, I'm many things. I can be a hero to someone and a villain to the next person. So it's all about perspective, is all about experiences. But I think that it shows you that life is complex, and life is sometimes made of hard decisions, but important decisions. So I think it's very deep, a deep message on letting us wondering about that. How do I feel about them? How do I feel about that father? How do I feel about that uncle that is a savior? But in the beginning, I saw a man on the floor. So is he bad or is he good? So I think everybody is real in that sense.
Yeah. With that, very, very good observation there. It's because even though people are bad, they have a good side to them. The uncle is a gangster. But however, for the first time, we're seeing a very caring side to him. He's making sure that the girls have something to eat. He wants to protect them. He's offering them a shelter. He's trying to play that father figure role. But that's a very, different side to him, as opposed to what we've seen earlier with him, killing people in his club, and wiping off the blood with the handkerchief or whatever it is. So we try to show a different side, that you can be bad, but however, you still have a good side towards you. Nobody is completely bad. Bad people have a good side to them, and that's what we're trying to show with the uncle as well. So good observation there, Carlos.
Thank you. One thing, was this your first movie? So, what number is this movie in your career?
Well, I started off. I've got a number of documentaries, but in terms of film, this was the first film, and first of many. I mean, currently we just finished shooting another film on Friday. We wrapped up on Friday, and already later in this week, I'm working on getting other producers to partner with me to produce another feature film. I think I've done what I can with short films. Now I want to ramp it up a bit and go feature film. I mean, short films are always used as a study guide, or as a trump card, whatever. It's like a learning process. And then I think now I'm ready for a full feature, and which is what we're going into pre-production for by the end of the week.
That's very good, and we are looking forward those updates. We have 3 messages now, so let me put them on the screen.
Okay.
So Fate is saying, "Hi everyone, a Kopedi, great film. What was the inspiration behind the creation of that film?"
Yeah. So the inspiration was that people are quick to judge, and nothing in life is what it seems, or when it comes to face value, nothing is at face value. So I just wanted to relay a message to say, look beyond face value, try and look, beyond that. I think that was my inspiration to say, do not be quick to judge. Even the title, it's a native language, because we have 11 official languages in South Africa. So it's one of the native languages, which basically means do not judge a book by its cover. First get the context and then make an informed decision. So that's what really inspired me to say, let's not be very quick to judge other people or situations. Make an informed decision. Look beyond face value and stuff. So that was the inspiration. And I feel like I need to also mention that there's a song in the film. That song was not originally part of the script. However, with what's been happening in South Africa, gender-based violence, men abusing women, men killing women. So we decided to, write a song about, as you can hear the lyrics, it says, protect me, don't kill me, you promise to love me, stuff like that. We are really appealing to men to say, let's not kill these women, let's love and protect these women, as opposed to what's been happening, because there's been a big uproar with gender-based violence, whereby we are even ashamed to show our faces in public about what men are really doing to women. So we decided to add that into the film to say, guys, we can do better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We have also another message saying the storyline is relatable to many, and the message was direct.
Yeah. No, I'm glad Nomthandazo feels that way. Because I mean, it's got an appeal. I mean, it's I think a lot of people can relate to the story. It's a story about survival. It's a story about secrets. Because when they first get to their uncle, they're not really telling him what brings them there. They have a little bit of secrecy, and they're just trying to survive, basically, and they think that their past is behind them, but it's not, And there's always a saying that says, if you want to look towards the future, you got to look at your past, So they needed to deal with the past so that they can move, towards their future. So yeah, so it's got a lot of layers, a lot of elements of real life situations. So we try to keep it as real as possible.
Yeah, and a lot
And
of beautiful
Priscilla.
messages.
And we have a couple more. So Priscilla is saying great film and clapping there.
Yeah.
And we have a long message now, so be ready. So I think the girls are wolves in sheep clothing. The way that they navigated the taxi rank and didn't back down to the guy in the opening scene. They streetwise and definitely intentional in what they do.
Correct. So which states my message to say, do not judge a book by its cover, because you think these girls are innocent, but they're not. They're quite dangerous, actually, in the opening scene, they could have taken that guy out, but they decided not to because they're thinking of what they did, towards their dad and stuff like that. So they're going through emotions, type setup, but they're quite dangerous girls. So Taluso is absolutely correct.
Good. Lisa, one more?
Yes, one more. I wanted to ask about the genre of the film. So is it, because when you say like, making movies is your passion, and was it like this is where you find yourself, like this kind of movies, like a bit, I don't know, tense and with a bit dramatic, or you're like, it's just one direction and you have a lot of more like doing a romantic film or something, I don't know.
Yeah, so with me, I don't like to be one dimension. I like to diversify. This was like a thriller, suspense thriller genre, and the next one that's coming, a feature film, is also a suspense thriller, but I'm looking at diversifying from there. Maybe doing a rom-com someday. An action film someday. So it all depends on the script. Because people approach me with scripts to say, I've got this project. Can you produce it? Can you direct it? Then I go through it and I say, okay, I'm interested or not. If I am interested, then we start working on it, and to see if the genre even, appeals to me first, because it's got to make sense to me, before I can actually translate it to the audience and stuff like that. So no, I'm not one dimension. I would like to make other films, rom-coms, horrors, action, dramas, things like that.
Yeah, but you already had a lot of different aspects in your movie already. It's like quite different scenes, so we can see that there's a lot of potential for a lot of different genres.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Emercio is a director. He's a Mozambican director, and he's one of our colleagues. He also left us with a message here. So congratulations, great movie. After the conclusion of the production and sharing it with others, Mercy wants to know if you have a different perspective now watching the movie, and was there something you would do differently if you were making the movie again?
Yeah, I always do self-SWOT analysis. I always look back and see if I could have done something different. And of course, if I look at the film, I feel like, there's other things that I could have done differently. But, I take that as a learning curve, and then I can always improve on the next one. Even when you are in a film school, they'll always tell you, your first film is not going to be the greatest film, but it's a very important film because it's the one that's going to give birth to many more. It's the one that will prove to you that you are able to put together a team, you are able to put together a budget, you are able to deliver on the deliverables, you are able to come out with a product at the end of the day. I think that's the bigger picture there. But in terms of doing things different, yes, I could have. And I can only improve on the second one, because this one is done and dusted. I can only improve, as we go along. And I imagine 10 years from now, I wouldn't want people to watch this film. Yeah.
We will watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it will be the one that goes into my private collection, because it's a very important movie for me, because it was a test to see if I can really produce, if I can really direct, if I can really, start something and finish it, So it's a very important movie for me personally. So it's going into my private collection, this one.
We also have another message from Zine, clapping you. So thank you, Zine. So everybody who's tuning in, please subscribe to the YouTube channel to be updated to the upcoming news from Shortcutz. I want to ask you another question. How long was it to make this movie? And were these all professional actors, experienced actors, or amateurs? So tell us a little more about the production side.
Okay, so let me start with the actors, right? The two older guys are actually seasoned actors. They have a huge box office following in South Africa. So I was quite fortunate to actually work with these guys. They are iconic actors. In South Africa, everybody knows them. They're very good. They've been in the industry for so long. The girls, they're very new in the industry, because I'm also of the opinion or believe that we need to open up the industry and give, everybody a chance. So they came to the auditions, they impressed me, and then I casted them. And then everybody else who came to the auditions and did not make the cut, I've given them like extras role. So everybody that you see in the club, on the streets, whatever, is people that came to the auditions but did not get the part. So I made them extras. So I rewarded their effort of coming to the auditions, spending money to travel and stuff like that. So yeah. And then your other question was, how long did it take to make the movie? So I think I'd say about 2 years, because from the time of script development, writing it, reviewing it, rewriting it, it was initially written for stage play, for theater, and then we had to switch it into a film, and then we had to shorten it because it was like a very long film, and then we had to like really try and shorten it to become a short film, and doing auditions and applying for funding, and getting the crew, securing locations, getting everybody together. Yeah, I think it took a little over 2 years. So it does take time. It does take time. It's not an overnight thing. It does take time.
Thank you. Emercio also sent us another message now, thanking you for sharing your insights. It's very interesting to hear. Thank you, Emercio.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Lisa.
Yeah, I was just curious about, because you had some special perspectives in the movie. Like there's one where they're all sitting in the car, and then in the other one, I think when they arrive at the house from the girls, where the uncle forced them to get out the money, that you had the perspective from above, from the car.
Yeah.
Do you have this? I cannot imagine how you do it, because I have no idea of how to make films. But there must be some special equipment, or is it really difficult to shoot these scenes?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, we have, which is another process of getting the team together, because once you get your director of photography, you go through the script and then you give him your perspective or your vision in terms of how you want the story to unfold visually, and then you go and you do the technical recce, you show him the places, and then he will make recommendations to say, for this we're going to need ABC in terms of equipment, to make it look the way it looked, in terms of like top shot, drawing down, which was like a nice shot. So yeah, we get the equipment for that, and it makes it easier for him to deliver those type of shots. So we rig the camera onto a dolly, and then they operate the dolly to go up and down, to move up and down, sideways, and stuff like that. And it's quite expensive. I mean, that dolly cost about 40,000 a week. Yeah.
Ooh, that's expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive. It's expensive to make films. It's expensive.
I can imagine. Yeah. If you told it 3 years, so that's like a lot of work involved. So in all.
Yeah, it is.
Everything.
Yeah.
But it's
when can we expect a new movie? How can we be in touch and be updated to what you are doing, to the new movies, new projects? Where can people find you online? So give us more about the future and how to stay connected. Okay,
so I am available on social media platforms, which is your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. Also, I have a website. My production company does have a website. People can email me there. It's actually the website is www.bgnholdings, which is B for bread, G for go, N for Nelly. Holdings with the S at the end, .co.za. So that's where the information is listed, and also my email address is there. On Twitter, I'm also available, which is
so like this,
like that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and on Twitter it's at Kopedi Aphane, which is my name and surname. I'm also available there. I tweet a lot, so I'm also reachable there. And Facebook, same handle. I'm also reachable there, and I'll be discussing the next project and stuff like that. I'm quite excited about the feature film that we are going into pre-production for, because this one is really based on a true story, something that really happened in South Africa back in 2015. So I'm quite excited about that. It's got a lot of real elements, and yeah, I'm hoping that we go into production sometime early next year, and maybe by the end of the year the movie would be ready. And hopefully cinemas will be open, and then we can have a deal with Technical or New Metro to have it. Or box office to have it out there, even Netflix, because that's what I'm looking at with this particular one. But over and above that, I do audience development programs, for marginalized communities. I go there and I talk to them about filmmaking, the opportunities it presents, and I try and attract youth, to show them what the film industry can offer them, because this is one industry that caters for all the professions, lawyers, doctors, paramedics, carpentry, you name it. Everybody has a role to play within the film industry, because we have to build sets. We need lawyers for contracts. We need doctors, paramedics on set, in case someone gets injured. Wardrobe, we need people to do that. Makeup, catering, people need to eat. You name it. It's a one industry that caters for all the professions. So I try and share this information with people to say, let's work together. There's an opportunity, and you can come in as an inexperienced person, start off as a runner, and then years later, you are something else, because it's one industry that goes with experience and referrals as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm really appreciated, and once again I will finish by thanking you again for making the time and accepting showcasing your movie, Your Baby, on our platform. I think it was a great kickoff to these special editions. As I was saying before, we have 4 more to go.
Yeah.
But I think it was a great start. And I would also like to, I was telling you this off the air, so I think we actually have an opportunity also to maybe taking shortcuts to South Africa, and maybe let's brainstorm about that and around that, and how can we make that happen maybe. So I think it's an opening of opportunities and of connections and of networking, and I think that this is what we are doing here, is spreading talent, showcasing your talent, your vision, your art, but also opening you to the Mozambican markets, but also showing us in Mozambique and our audience in Mozambique the amazing talent and the amazing cinema you guys have in South Africa. So I think art does that. Art inspires us and connects us.
Definitely. I mean, I'm open to that. Like I said, so let's talk more about that as to how I can, play a role in, bringing Shortcutz to South Africa and, acquiring films and stuff like that. So I'm quite open to that conversation.
Thank you. Lisa, final remarks on your side?
Yes, of course. I also want to thank you for sharing your work with us. I'm still quite impressed from the film. It was a beautiful film, and I can only wish you all the best for the future. And I think you did a great job in changing your direction in life and going for your passion. So all the best for that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to showcase my movie on your platform. It's been a great honor and a pleasure. And thank you to everyone who tuned in, to watch the film. I hope you enjoyed it. And I was telling my fellow South Africans to say, when we are done here, we are going off to Twitter, to Twitter Spaces. We're going to continue the conversation about the movie, because they've been waiting to watch this film. So they had to tune in to Shortcutz to watch it first, because I had not released it in South Africa, actually. So this is like the official premiere. So now we're going to go back onto Twitter and, continue the conversation about the film. And I'd like to hear their views. So, thank you to everyone.
No, thank you. It was an honor. And just to let you know that the YouTube link is still available. So you can share it on your social media if you want, also to make your audience also check it out later. And we are doing the same on our side, on our social media. So same link on YouTube, and we can promote it, and people can watch it afterwards. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Stay safe. Let's stay in touch. Yeah. And great things are coming ahead.
Okay. Great stuff. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Lisa, as well.
You too. Thank you. Bye. Thanks.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you. So thank you, everybody. Once again, a great kickoff for the Moz Monday Movies special edition. We'll be back next week with a different short movie from a different country. So stay tuned. It will be worth it. Subscribe to our channel, please. And what a great experience it was to be with South African film director. We will see you next week. Stay safe and enjoy great movies. Thank you.